Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to the GameDev.tv community podcast. I'm your host, KB, and this podcast brings you the audio experience of GameDev.tv. Now, let's get right into the podcast. All right, Layal, welcome to the show.
Hell yeah, welcome.
You excited?
Hell yeah!
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Well, if you could just introduce yourself a little bit, let the GameDev.tv students know about who you are, and we'll go from there.
Okay. So my name is Layal Fakih. I'm from Lebanon, Beirut, and I studied computer science, and now I'm working as a Unity developer, something that I love to do. And other than that, I love to participate in game jams and be part in communities. I love diversity. So that's the thing in me. Yeah, nothing will stop me from meeting new people, new mindsets, wherever they are.
Nice.
Wow, that's a great way to
I
start
love
it.
games.
New people, new mindsets, new games.
Yeah, I have Platinum Trophy. My latest one is Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yes.
Of course.
I love Aloy.
Horizon Zero Dawn.
What a character.
It's amazing. Yeah, what character? What game is amazing.
So bold. She's courageous.
Aloy is honestly one of the best characters they've made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
are you looking forward to the new one?
I am. I'm very excited.
Yeah. Gonna be
I love her personality, really.
I love when she
And
just
the story is-
doesn't give up, or like if she wants to get something done, she's gonna do it. She's funny. She reminds me like a mixture of, I guess, you watch Avatar: Last Airbender.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I guess, like Katara and Sokka mixed together, because she could be funny. She was very sarcastic.
Mm-hmm. Very
Yeah.
true.
She doesn't give up. That's something that we don't give up to in our life, you know. We're facing a lot in this 2020.
Yeah, this 2020 has been crazy. What happened? Who? What game?
Who
did we
pressed the
put in?
wrong button?
Yeah. Who put in the wrong game for 2020? What's going on?
You got the cheat code wrong.
Yeah. Remember back in days, like R1, L1,
Yeah.
like X, left, up, down. Somebody put it in wrong. They got the end of the world cheat code.
Could have had flying tanks, you know.
Could have had flying.
You could have had flying tanks.
I don't know if that would have been better. I don't.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
I don't know.
That's a good point. Probably not.
Yeah, but Layal, when was your
Yeah.
earliest gaming memory?
My earliest gaming memory was when I was 7 years old. I played Sonic 2 on the Sega Game Gear.
Oh my goodness, the Sega Game Gear.
Wow.
I wonder if
one of
that's-
the best.
Birthday.
I wonder if that's what I had when I was younger. 'Cause I had some kind of
What was-
Sega machine. No, I didn't have the Game Gear. That's dang. It looks ancient.
Because everybody had the
And
Saturn.
so what?
Sega Saturn. That was the one that everyone had.
I didn't.
Oh,
I had the
okay.
Game Boy Color.
Ah.
I have no idea. My dad just bought it for me because I was so bored at home.
So from there, were you just thrown into games? You were like, all right, I'm gonna
Yeah.
play all the games that I can find.
I was thrown to games. I loved Sonic, and my brother had a PC. I played Aladdin, the Disney games, Simba. I didn't finish them. They were very challenging. That thing that really caught my interest, that I'm losing a lot in this game. But whenever I played it, I managed to win again. And then I lose again because more levels are more challenging and they're more hard. It's something that really caught my interest.
That's
I felt that
interesting.
I'm cool.
Because I feel like I can relate to when all those games when I was younger, at least, were almost impossible to beat. I would get to pretty far in the game, but I could never get past all the platform levels, or all Donkey Kong could never beat. When it came to Pokemon, I could beat Pokemon, but when it was the old games, I couldn't do them.
They're very
So-
challenging.
So that challenge made you want to learn more about why it was challenging, game design wise, or why was it
and
very
I really like the artistic part. I really like how fantasy it is, the imagination part of it. Away from my reality, from person who's living, in Middle East. Um, I put a lot of time in games, and I felt I'm more free in games. Like I can wander anywhere I want. I can do actions, and this is something that I really loved, especially that they are entertaining,
Hmm.
very entertaining.
I'm curious. So like, I don't live in the Middle East. Is it not as freeing as like, for instance, playing a game? Like, do you feel more free in these game worlds because of the way that like? So I don't know for so. I'm just asking.
No, it's well, since in games, yes, I do feel more free to wander wherever I want.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
that's something that that I got attached to. It's
Okay.
but I love open world games. I love RPG games.
Yeah, me
I
too.
can explore. I can discover new type of people. I can chat with whoever I want to, and I can choose a decision and play the game.
Have you played Detroit Become Human?
The what?
Detroit Become Human?
No.
You should try that game because that game is all about decisions and choices you make, and
Um.
anything you like, anything you can do pretty much anything they give you, and then any other outcome will happen. So like, you could accidentally kill one of the main characters, but the game would still go on, or you could save someone's life or not save someone's life, and it could depend on what's gonna happen,
I
like
love
on
this stuff.
what buttons you press, what actions you take, and then the whole game could be different because of it. And it's just that game makes you realize like that you can make choices and you're gonna have to live with them, whether it's
Mhm.
good or bad. And
Yes, that's pretty close to our real life. I mean, we do make choices and shift our direction in our life based on our choices that we make. So that's really pretty interesting. I love The Witcher 3 because of that.
oh, stop. Yes.
Geralt,
Oh
I
my.
have a crush on Geralt.
Geralt is the man. I love just he's the most compassionate, empathetic, caring person. Yet he's not supposed to be because he has no emotions, which
Exactly.
makes him even better. And actually, the same thing. This that game has like a choice you make, but it's not like Detroit or even like Infamous. It's kind of like hidden. When you're hanging out with Siri, there's choices to make between like playing snowball or not playing snowball, breaking the stuff in that one room or not. That you won't see the benefits from that until the end of the game when she has to go do the White Frost. And so that
Hmm.
makes you realize that like sometimes your choices will take a long time for you to see the results. And in that moment, it's going to be like at the end of the game, you'll see your outcome. And you can't change you literally at the end of the game to redo everything, you have to play the game all over again. And that one really shows that like your choices matter and you really need to understand like what is it that you think is the right thing to do, not what you think like standards are or society, because all the right choices in that game are like more emotional and if you actually care about the character, not what you think is right. It's interesting. I love it.
It's very interesting. It have like 9 different endings too. I'm happy that I got the good ending.
Oh, which one was you got the one where Geralt and Ciri became witchers
Yeah.
together? Yes.
Yes.
That's honestly the best. How like no, she'd be a good empress, but that's not. I don't think that's the best choice for her.
We'll see for the new Witcher title.
We'll
They're
see. That's
saying
gonna,
that they're gonna work on a new title.
that's what I heard. It's gonna take a while, but
Yeah.
when it does come out, we'll see. We'll see what
Fun.
happens.
Yeah.
So now, when did you get started doing programming?
I started doing programming when I got to the university because I got a laptop and I started to know what I really like to do. I wasn't when I was in high school, I was like pretty lost. What would I love to do? Do I really like programming? Will I be a doctor? Um, it's a stage where I think most of us teenagers find it difficult just to figure out what we want to do later on. It's not easy to make a choice. It wasn't a hobby to do programming.
Hmm.
Late these days, I didn't have a laptop. I only had my PlayStation 2 and
Hmm.
PlayStation 1. Yes. So I got into programming more when I got to the university, and I learned how to do self-learning. That's
Uh,
something really helped me a lot in teaching myself how to do game development, or at least learn, of course, how to do game development.
So let's start off with how did you figure out what I really wanted to do? Was that like over time trying new things, or was that kind of like a more introspective like way you found it by like just like sitting quietly somewhere and just being like, what is it that I want?
Mm.
Not really. I said a lot quietly, but I couldn't make a decision because I didn't try yet. So when I tried web development, I came to a point that I always feel routine. I personally, it's a personal opinion. I didn't feel that it's something I would like to do more. And I I faced some like people were looking at me, and I remember someone telling me like, "You're a girl. Why don't you act normal like other girls? And you
Whoa, whoa,
always
whoa,
copy."
whoa.
This
What?
hit me hard because I came wearing my Turtle Beach wireless headset,
hmm
and I wore this hoodie. I had like a controller thingy on my hoodie, and I always talk about games, and they would be like, "Okay, why don't you act like these girls and sitting next to us?" And from that point, I realized this is not my place. I don't want to be here.
hmm
And I really got more happy. I lost weight. When I worked as a game developer, I first went to the community. I discovered the community. I saw more interesting people. You have gamers that only like horror games. You have gamers that only play Nintendo games. Like we go always into debates.
Yeah.
I don't like horror games. I'm so sensitive.
Mm-mm.
Oh, horror
Uh,
games? Yeah, no, I
yeah, I'm
can't.
too sensitive for that.
They scare me so
So
much. I
yeah,
don't know why too. Oh, what were you
so
saying?
yeah, yeah. I was saying that I found my passion there. I felt I I can act freely. I can say because I don't know. Maybe it's something more. Gamers are more open to that topic. I don't know, but it's something that I love to do. I found my passion.
hmm That's beautiful because it's hard to find your passion, but I mean,
It was
once you
hard.
do find it and surround yourself with the people around you, it just everything becomes easier. You feel more welcomed. You feel like you can focus on just the thing you care about the most. And like
Yes,
you
and
said, you
if
can
I
act
didn't
freely.
try, if I didn't try web development, I wouldn't know. If I
Mm.
didn't dislike this path, I wouldn't know.
So then you said you do web development, but like when did you get into game development, or was that at the same time?
Hmm. It was I was first doing my internship as a web developer,
hmm
and the lady there asked me, "What is something you would love to learn?" I told her I would like to make a game. She did laugh at first, and she said, "That's pretty hard." And I told her, "I'm gonna challenge myself. I have no idea how." And so I Googled. Google is my best friend,
hmm
and I came up to Brackeys. I
Hey,
made the
brackies. Yeah.
Brackies. Big hi to Brackies. I made the ping pong game that he made, that he taught us all how to do it. It was based on JavaScript using
hmm
Unity. I had no idea how I did it. I just read the code and I just wrote it. And I felt happy. But I had to watch the video like 4 times because something new for me. Like
Mm.
it's different than web development.
Yeah, it's
So
not the
yes,
same. Not
it's
really,
not
not at
this.
all. Yeah.
Yes, and then I changed the company. I worked with another company, and they asked me the same question. I told them I would also like to do a game, and they told me, "Well, how about we do a VR game?" And that's the first thing that I did in my probation. Testing a prototype game where going into the company and interacting with things. It was 3D, it was VR, it was new tech to me. I didn't know how to use Oculus Rift.
hmm
So from here, I came more, I understand more how game development is different than what I'm working what I worked back then, and I really liked it.
Wow. So like you went you went from I'm gonna make a game to then like changing companies and just working on a VR game?
Yes, like even when I got
Dang.
accepted in this company, I just kept working at web development because they
hmm
didn't receive game projects. But I still had this in me, like I want to do games until I some people used to criticize me, like you're so into games,
hmm
like constantly into talking about games and stuff. I knew because I didn't try game development yet. That's why I was talking too much about it, maybe.
You were like games, games, but I don't see what's the problem with that. Like games are great.
Yeah,
Games.
it is. Maybe it's a mentality.
Hmm.
But I'm very thankful. If it weren't for them, I wouldn't know where I wouldn't know my passion. I'm very thankful.
No, yeah, because finding that passion, like I said before, is not easy. And if
Mhm.
anybody can find it, I say hold on to that and run
Yeah,
with it. Yeah. No,
and
but I
I'm
like
still learning.
yeah, I like we said before about that the teacher said it was gonna be hard, and you were like, I'm gonna challenge myself. I feel like everyone who's in game development like has this sense of like I need to do the hardest thing possible, and I want to do it, make it like the best thing ever. I don't know, because like I feel like I always need to challenge myself, and here I am doing game development, and it's like it's not easy. It's pretty
It's
rough.
true. And I did.
That's
It weren't good, by the way. It weren't the best ping pong game I made. It's just a replica. I mean, I
hmm
just learned it.
yeah.
So if I failed at first, and I think I'm still taking a lot of time in figuring out how to do things like this mechanic or this type of physics, and I'm still learning. If I didn't fail, I wouldn't learn how to do it. It wouldn't like stick in my mind. Like I failed at this, and that's how I discovered how to do that.
That's beautiful. If I didn't fail, I wouldn't be able to learn it. I've always, yeah, you always learn the most when you mess up, because then you're like, why did I mess up? How can I do it better?
Just laugh about it the next time.
Oh, I love that. Just laugh about it. What was school and like studying like? Was it just like it was just an easy process, or was it like a lot of like late nights? Like, was it rough learning programming, or did it come easy to you?
School days, well, back my country, school was like I was studying everything, biology, math, physics, the typical.
Yeah.
Um, there weren't a lot of activities, so it's much more hanging out with my friends and doing pranks in school. And I enjoyed biology more than math. By the way, I failed at math. I don't know how I'm so into game programming, but I failed every course back there in my school at math.
Well, I guess it just shows you don't need to always be good at math to do gameplay programming.
Exactly. I love physics.
That's interesting. So you failed math, but you love physics, and it's the same. If anything, physics is harder than a lot of. What? How's that possible? You got.
I mean,
I'm
like
confused.
to me, I feel like physics has a meaning, has not more meaning, but like I have a pendulum, I need to calculate something, and that's to me, can visualize it more. I love physics, and I struggled to at least be good at math back in my school days.
Mhm.
We did a podcast. It was with was it the person who does the basic math course at
You're talking
GameDev?
about Gary?
Yeah,
Yeah, he
exactly.
does the math for games course.
And it's very interesting that he says that people don't like either get into math or learn it well in school because they're not given those like practical reasons for using it. So that it sounds like exactly what you're saying. So in a way, it wasn't you, it was the way it was taught to you, I would
Yeah,
say.
yeah. It was pretty boring. It was pretty like straightforward. It wasn't very boring.
Well,
Yeah.
no, honestly,
Or
like,
maybe that was my preference. I preferred something more like biology because there's more visual. And it depends on the person.
Mm.
I don't know.
it's true. No, I believe though, it's like if they give you a reason, like, actually, honestly, the best way to probably learn math is to do game development because then it's like, whoa, you need to learn tan and SOHCAHTOA for this moment, or you need to learn physics for this, and you're like, I get it. Because every time in school, it's like, when am I going to use this? And they're like, I mean, I don't know. But honestly, when you do game development, every like assignment I did back when I was younger, I was like, oh wow, use it here, and use it here, and use it here.
Exactly.
They should have just told everybody that. You see all these games? It's all math.
I do. Right now, I really still laugh. Like, why did I fail that test when I was in school? It's so easy. Like, when I think about it right now.
So when did you get good at math? Did you just like study on your own? You're like, I have to be good at this, or just
Yeah.
eventually
I
you
got good at math because when I did the computer science, I realized it's pure math, and it's something that I wanted to prove myself. Like, okay, I won't fail this too. I
Mm,
don't want to fail. At least I don't want to take A plus, but at least I don't want to fail this too. It's like it was a test for me. And I really
okay.
want to do computer science. I have to. I love it. Not just I have to. I
Did you
really
enjoy
love,
it?
I enjoy it. I love Java. I love C sharp.
What programming language do you use nowadays?
C sharp
C
because I'm
Sharp and
doing
Unity.
object oriented.
Mm,
Yeah.
nice. Now, did you always have this like I want to challenge myself attitude?
What?
Did you always have this I want to challenge myself attitude?
Yes, it's something for me actually, not for the people. I want to challenge myself. I want to have a better version of myself always.
That's
Because
beautiful.
I want to do things where I can finish them and easily, not struggle with it.
When you say that again? You
Like I want to do my tasks where I feel I'm comfortable at finishing them at time and not struggling them because there are gaps. There's still gaps in my head that I'm not understanding.
okay? So how do you fix those gaps? You just go and learn.
By understand by I fix those gaps by understanding the base, which is, for example, let's say programming language, by
Okay.
understanding the pure programming language, the fundamentals.
Mm.
Like for anyone who wants to learn programming right now, he needs to learn the fundamentals in programming. Base, how did it start, and what's the fundamentals? Well, everything from A to Z.
Now, do you constantly like practice the fundamentals, or you feel like you've gotten a hold on it? You don't even need to
I
go
always
back to it.
have no, I always have a reference. I have my favorite book. I have my favorite references. Not because I practice a lot. I don't need to go to these references.
Hmm.
So it's more also about practice.
Hmm. No, because that's a big one. Because I even heard that in sports. It's like the fundamentals matter. Like when you go practice fundamentals so it's a habit. So that you
Mhm.
just once you have that, you can construct anything. It's kind of like you have the building blocks to further do whatever you want to do, even if you've never seen it or learned about it before. That's
Yeah.
incredible. So now, when you started using Unity, you made that ping pong game. What else did you make?
My first game in Unity was made in a game jam.
Okay.
A game jam game that was hosted by Friedrich Naumann Foundation, and the theme was freedom. I don't know why I'm always circulating around freedom.
Yeah.
The theme was freedom, and I made a game in 2 days. I was so afraid. I knew that I'm gonna fail it, but honestly, I won because my friends encouraged me. That they
Wait, you
pushed
won
me.
the whole game jam?
I won the second prize.
Hey, that's amazing.
Hey,
How many? Like what?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
yeah.
Thank you. So yeah, I made the game. It's about a dove in a dungeon where it's trapped in a cage, and like our nature drives us to set ourselves free when we feel captive. So this dove wants to get out the cage, and it's like escape dungeon, and you have obstacles that's facing you.
Nice.
Wow. Do you have anywhere where we can
Symbolic
see the game?
manner. Yes, it's on itch.io.
Oh, okay.
All my games are there. I'm gonna send you the link.
Sounds
Great.
good.
Thank you.
So you were saying that you were very nervous, and would you have
Yeah,
not
very
published it
nervous.
if you didn't have the encouragement of your friends? You were saying.
I wasn't confident, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
I
But you,
had this because I never made like a game in 2 days.
yeah,
That
no,
never, I never
that's
had this
crazy.
idea. This is very crazy. But if the community that I was in didn't encourage me or didn't tell me to at least try, try it, try. You may like it. It's fine. But at least try. You may don't. At least you tried.
That's really all that matters. No matter what, no regrets. At least you tried. You gave
Yeah.
it your all. Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I love being in communities. And I
Everybody's
can
gonna
make.
love this podcast because you just keep motivating everybody. You've said so many great things. Like, oh my gosh.
I mean,
So,
all of these I learned them from my friends, from people I have met. It's not something I acquired by only by myself.
I've
Yeah.
noticed that too. Like a lot of the most, I guess you'd say, positive or inspirational people are people who've had like the best support groups, or people at least
Okay.
like one person in life who's like told them to believe in themselves.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is
Like
that
a
how you
mentor.
feel?
Good to have mentors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that, Zoe? Do you feel like being positive is like something that you like always have, or something that's developed by just having a great group, like support group or mentors?
It's an interesting question. I have both of those things, good mentors and support group. I do think that yeah, I would say that probably allows you to be more positive about your own work if you see you're in a circle who you care about also appreciating what you're doing. But I think you'll agree, both of you, that game development has quite a specific community, and unlike things like the film industry and others, like you can sort of do things in quite a DIY way, so you get like big indie games absolutely just smashing it in terms of sales.
Like Among Us.
Yes, exactly, like really small titles doing amazing, just getting amazing sort of figures in terms of people playing the games, and there'll be like a tiny group of people who are maybe like college mates who have all come together to make this project, and you don't really get that in other industries. And it's actually I think quite a special thing about games is you can form small communities and they can actually go on to achieve incredible success with projects, and the sort of the way that it's all set up just allows for that. It's really cool.
Yeah, well, it's just, I guess, yeah, surround yourself with great people. Just always look, believe in yourself, like look for the good things, believe in yourself, and you'll be surprised what you can do in this community.
Definitely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Get out of your comfort zone.
There you go again. Do something that scares you every day. Release that game you think is not as good, and you'll be surprised. Everybody will be like, "That game's amazing."
Yeah. Even if the game, like, even if our first game or didn't do much, it's fine. It's okay. You can do another game. I mean, our life is like continuous. Everything is continuous. You can, it's like trial and error. I don't know.
I love this. So when you make these games, does it come from like your personal experience, or is it you trying to like inspire the people? Like for instance, with Break Free.
No, I don't work on doing games that inspire people. I didn't thought about that. I like to do epic and quirky games mostly. But my first game, since the theme was freedom, I made it more realistic.
Okay.
Like the meaning of it more realistic, but in a symbolic manner. But if you see my other games, I have a game called Pack My Pals. I have a Human Apocalypse. They're all like quirky and funny.
That's hilarious. No, because I love what you guys put as the info for the Break Free game. It says, all in all, freedom is a right for every soul. Don't let circumstances trap you for long. Either depression, domestic violence, slavery. Always search for a way, even if you face many obstacles. It's never too late to try. Like, what? That you just changed my life. I love that.
Thank you. It's coming from the heart.
Yeah. That's another cool thing about games. It's like it's a way to represent like it's a way to express ourselves, and in a fun way. It's like not only does you feel like you got like inspiration, but you're like, now let me break free and do it in this game and have some fun.
I'm also working on my current game, but it's not announced yet. So
it's all secret.
So that's one challenge, for example. I have never worked on a full game by myself on my own ideas. I always work on freelance projects or with big groups or with the company.
Well, so working on a game by
I'm working on my own.
Self can be a long task. Depends what you make.
It is a lot. That's why I'm making it short as possible. It's a mobile game. It's not something huge. It's not like it's like an adventure from an adventure genre, and just have a small story that I would like to put in the game.
Well, I can't wait to play it.
Thank you. It's my first time. Let's see. Please tell me what you think about it then.
Okay. So you don't want to share anything about it, right? It's like a top secret.
Not right now, until I create the trailer, or at least the teaser.
How do you practice game development? Because like, you learn programming, you learn Unity, but like, how does one practice every day, or how did you practice every day? You just make a game?
courses and tutorials and live streams that teach you game development, which at most time is enough. They even have a fundamental course teaching you programming. They have a lot of things. And also right now, they launched a new initiative called Open Projects, where you can be involved in the process of a game development journey of a game the Unity are working on. It's very interesting because you will learn how the production of the game will be, and from A to Z to the publish till it's published.
Wow, that's so cool.
And you can also contribute. You can work on tasks. So that's something very interesting. You will work on with teams that they are also working on the project itself.
Wait a minute, so it's like they're gonna release a game and they're like it's gonna be open source that anybody that wants to can help make this game?
Yes, exactly. They
That is
set
incredible.
goals, they set everything. So it's not just you are contributing. If you can to the project, you can also learn. I'm checking the project right now. It's really interesting.
That's beautiful.
But honestly, I learned a lot from game jams.
Okay.
They're very fun. And because they give you like a specific theme, which for me, I feel more comfortable of making a game out of a specific theme. Because it's not easy to come up with a game idea and then it's not that easy. It's not that quick. But if you have a theme, you practice on making a game idea, gameplay, and setting everything you want to do in 2 days. It could be a week also, which have a lot of game jams. There's Bracky's game jam.
There's so many game jams. It's insane.
No.
We got to do them all
Global
one
Game
year.
Jam is my favorite.
Which one is?
Now in January. Global Game Jam in January.
Global Game Jam. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what, Zoe, we got to come back strong next year and do all the game jams.
I know.
Count me in.
Oh, you want to come?
Participate.
Ooh, interesting. Okay, I'll keep that in the books and we'll see what we can do. When you're doing game development, when you like feel stuck or not sure how to do something, you just Google it. How do you get through like process where you're like, I don't know what I need to do. It's not working.
Yeah, exactly. So first of all, I Google it. I read the Unity forums. They have a lot of a lot of people may ask the same question that you're asking. Second of all, Unity have a Discord channel, and there's a section for you can ask anything you want.
Okay.
It's very helpful. So yes, when I come across something, I rely on Google search, especially Unity forums.
Unity forums, Google search, Stack Overflow, and if you're doing Unreal, the Unreal doc or forums, or all your friends when you don't know the answer.
Until you try.
Yeah. Now, what if you can't find it anywhere on the forums or on Google? How do you figure out?
So one of the things I try to understand where am I stucking, and what should I do? And I open the Google Docs documentation. For example, let's take an example. I'm doing something in physics, and I cannot manage that. This object is keep on passing through the wall, although it has colliders. I try to understand my rigid body. What's the options I have in my rigid body, and understand where are my gaps. And it's more like testing. But like there's always an answer. There's always someone who's willing to answer you and helping you. That's why there's a Unity forum. The Unity, they really worked a lot on everything on their community. Even the Discord channel, they're very helpful.
No, I agree. Everybody in like Unity, the Unreal, even the GameDev.tv communities, everybody's so helpful with like, you need help? Here you go. Share your code. I got you. This is the right tips, and this is how you should react. Like, everybody just wants everybody to succeed, and I love that because again, we're doing the hard thing here. This is no easy feat. What companies did you work for right out of college?
Right out of college?
Yeah, was it that one with the VR?
So I started working in a web development company.
Mhm.
They are two, multi-frames, and I ended up working in Mirim, a multinational company. When I found my passion, I started my game development track in Groovy Antoid. It's one of the interesting game development studios in Lebanon. So I worked on their 2D game, casual. It's called Fat Bunny Endless Hopper. I literally didn't know anything about game development, so it was like a learning course for me, and I enjoyed working on it a lot. From there, I worked on another game development company called Play Holding, and
Okay.
now I'm working with American University of Beirut, that is leading MED GAIMS program for gamification of tourism in 4 countries. So I'm working on one of the touristic games.
Wow.
Yeah, 4 countries: Jordan, Spain, Italy, and Lebanon. We gonna do develop games to create experience for tourists, especially for the unknown sites in the countries.
So I'm
It could be a
confused.
physical game, it could be a board game, it could be, of course, a virtual game, it could be a VR. So, like, we have we have a sea castle in Lebanon,
Okay.
and we're making a game that tells the history of this sea castle.
Ooh,
So
okay,
this
that's so
people,
cool.
yeah.
Is it like a game kind of like Assassin's Creed, where it's like you have your own story that's taking place during the history of the sea castle, or is it like a game where you just go through history about the sea castle?
No, it's not like Assassin's Creed because it's not a fortress, so it's not like you're fighting and defending. It's
Hmm.
more like let's say you're in a castle and you want to get out of here and you have to interact with objects, and it starts with a small video telling you the history of this castle, but you have like takes you back in 1200,
Mm.
for example. Yeah, and you go into this castle. There are a couple of projects because it's not one project. So it's on different sites. You have an AR project, you have a VR project, and we
Wow.
also have a fortress castle. It's called Fidar. So this one is where they use a trebuchet, for example, to fight.
Mm.
So yeah, we gamify as much as we can about the history, so tourists will encourage more to visit these sites.
I really
Interesting.
love that.
So relevant now as well, where like tourism's taken a real downswing because of COVID.
Yeah,
Makes a lot of sense
exactly.
to move into that way of experiencing places.
Unknown places, yeah,
Oh, I didn't think
historical.
of it like that. Yeah, it's like if you can't come, experience it through these games.
Yeah.
And if you make it in that country, technically you're fueling the economy of that. That's interesting. I love it.
Yeah, this is actually what the program is about. It's called MED GAIMS, and this is their goal,
Mm.
to get gamification of tourism.
Interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at you changing four
Super
countries. See, that's the power of games, because like back then you'd be like, oh, games mean nothing, but it's like, no, games can connect people to different countries, can help teach
Exactly.
people about history. Games are incredible, and I need people to stop saying they're not.
mean, can't change everyone's mind. They're just wrong.
They're all wrong. Well, maybe there's two perspectives, but the better choice. Yeah,
No, they're just wrong.
it's just wrong.
Wrong.
You first applied for the lab game dev like job, the one that
Yeah, the community, you mean. Okay.
how was that process like?
Okay, first of all, it's not a job. It's something we
Okay.
do out of it's something we do out of love, from our hearts, because there's no game dev community in Lebanon, and we wanted to create this community. It started out with the organizers. One of them is the Unreal Evangelist in Lebanon and Middle East, sorry, not Lebanon. So they formed the community, and then I came here. I met every single person. I became friends with everyone, and then I helped them hosting game jams. And I found myself in the end as a community manager of LebGameDev because I was so active. I literally know every member. We're all like family and friends.
Nice.
Oh,
And it's not just for Lebanese. We have non-Lebanese. We have half Lebanese. So it's more like anyone who's local is free to come to LebGameDev. do games, chat, have fun.
Sounds like an amazing time.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah, like
This community is like 4 to 3 years old.
so how many people are in it?
Right now we have a lot, about 100, counting. Yeah.
And you know all their names?
I know the active ones, and most probably.
It's gonna be a
yes.
quiz. Are you ready?
I have a WhatsApp group, by the way. We have a WhatsApp group. We talk every day. Very active.
You're saying anybody could join, so like Zoe and I can join?
If you're
Of
local
course.
to the area, you,
If you ever come to Lebanon, please join us.
All right, Zoe, you ready?
I would love
We're
to come.
right now, since there's quarantine, we're right now doing like online jams that's not specifically just local. We used to do local game jams, but right now we're shifting more to online. So we hosted a game jam on Itch. It's called Quarantine Jam, and we had a lot of international participants. It was a new experience for us. We didn't know we reached more than like 300 participants in this jam.
You reached over 300 or like around 300?
Over more than 300, yeah.
Wow. That's a lot, like for like starting out, like doing a game jam or.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but we worked all together, from organizers and members. We helped all each other. It was fun. It's not something stressful. We do things for fun.
I like that. So since this is just a like on your own freelancing, where do you work at the moment? Are you still doing the web development or are you
No, I'm officially a Unity developer.
play holding?
No, I used to work at Playholding. Now I'm working with AUB. I'm working on this project. It's been a week right now. That's why I didn't put it right now on LinkedIn. And I'm a freelancer also.
Mm-hmm. All right,
So that's
cool.
the part of my web. Yeah.
So what was
Until
the
find a better job
true.
abroad. Yeah. I
gotcha.
mean, I care to have more experience in a game dev company. And sadly, in Middle East, we don't have a lot of game dev studios. They're very little. Like Lebanon, we have about 3 or 2 that are doing okay. But in the whole Middle East, there aren't a lot. It's like just countable, 2 to 3. I don't have a lot of choices. And that's why I'm a freelancer right now, because I'm doing projects abroad.
Oh, abroad, so like you trying to do work for like anybody anywhere around the world?
Yeah. Yes. Upwork.
Are you ever planning to like go somewhere else? Or do you want to stay in Lebanon?
No, I am planning to go somewhere else. Of course, I want to discover the world.
Yes.
I want to stay here, especially after the explosion. I want to see more of life, honestly.
Yeah.
That's so hold on. So okay, so how close was that blast to you?
10 minutes away.
That explosion was 10 minutes. So that you felt that thing.
Wow.
I saw it. I felt it. I had minor wounds.
You got
I'm
minor
shocked.
wounds from that?
Yeah.
All right,
My
so you got
friends.
to tell us the whole day. Like what happened? We got to hear the whole story.
If you
Okay.
want to.
You don't have to if you want to though.
No, it's 2 months right now. I'm so open to talk about it. I'm so open. So it started where I was listening to Assassin's Creed playlist. There was a track called "The Guardian" by Sarah Schachner, and I was getting ready because my parents were already in the hospital, but nothing serious. They were in the emergency room for checkup. I was getting ready to go there, and then after I listened to the track, I was wearing my shoes, and the building started to shake. Electricity cut off. I thought that it's a natural earthquake, but it wasn't, because I was going to the corridor. In front of me, there was a balcony. I saw a shockwave coming towards me that destroyed all the glasses from the building, and it knocked me backwards from the corridor. The sound was I got terrified from the sound. I felt that the explosion was actually near me, but it wasn't. Each one of us in Beirut felt that the explosion was near them. That's something that I have never experienced before. I'm a 2 times war survivor, so I know what an explosion is. I have never seen this before. And the only thing I was thinking, my parents, where are they? I went to the streets, everything was wrecked, glasses, blood, and all of this. And that's where I got wounded because I had to crawl on these. I got minor.
On the streets?
Yeah, because you can't, I didn't want to walk on glass, so I slipped. And then I was walking towards the hospital. The hospital was 5 minutes away. It's AUH, American University Hospital. And when I went to the hospital, that's where I was shocked more. I've seen a lot of people there, and I was searching for my parents. It was very emotional. It's something that should not happen. It's mass destruction. People lost their lives, innocent, from all nationalities, from people who are just trying to live in my country. And for some reason, that it's not an accident, we felt this destruction.
Wow, that is a story.
That is some.
Wow.
The thing that I really was shocked that the sky was red. It's ammonia. The sky was pure red.
Pure red?
It's ammonia.
That's scary.
That
It is very scary. I mean, it's the third biggest explosion in history. I don't know how I survived.
I mean, I'm glad you did. I'm happy. Yeah, but
I was lucky. Yes.
my heart's out to everyone else who didn't, and everyone who's injured, and that's just crazy how all that happened, and the fact that you were 10 minutes away.
Yeah.
That's insane.
There's a lot of buildings, so that's one of the things that really protected some people.
Built up in a built-up area kind of thing with lots of buildings.
Because the port is next to a lot of buildings. It's next to an area where there are a lot of population.
Did you see the blast, or did you just feel the shockwave of it?
I didn't instantly see the blast, but I saw the clouds that coming from the blast.
Because that was crazy. It went from 0 to like a big explosion in like
3 seconds.
that. Yeah. Can you just imagine just chilling doing your thing and then you're gone? I just wow.
It's just crazy.
Yeah, it took me like a half an hour to reach the hospital. It usually takes 5 minutes. I didn't know how to reach there. I was so shocked that I'm trying not to walk on glass because everything got destroyed.
Were your parents okay?
Yes, thankfully they were okay.
Good.
They're very terrified because in the emergency room the roof fell, and all the nurses, they told all the patients, get out of here. We're gonna have more people coming.
Wow.
Yeah. They worked on electricity. They worked under flashlights. So yeah, I hope this never happens again.
Yes, definitely.
And
I agree.
I've learned a lot. Keep your loved ones close and do what you love, honestly.
It definitely sounds like you try and grab every opportunity that you can, and that you appreciate the people close to you, which is really, really amazing. I guess experiences like that just reinforce that feeling. Definitely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I hope it doesn't happen to any other countries. I hope these kind of things should not happen. This is man-made. It should not happen.
It shouldn't.
Yeah,
that should have never happened. So now, you were mentioning before about there wasn't enough game dev studios in the Middle East.
Yeah.
How?
Till now.
Till now? Okay. So like, how have you been handling that? Just doing freelancing? Like, what advice would you give to people, especially in the Middle East, trying to get into the industry?
First of all, my career path is slow because of that. I'm thankful that I worked for 2 years at Groovy Antoid. It's not easy. It was tough because I really I need experience. I need the work experience. And what we were trying nowadays is to whoever is interested in game dev, at least to put them in the right path, give them where they can learn game dev, or if they're interested to have it as a career. In Lebanon, till now, there's no university that teaches game development.
In the Middle East?
So that, not yeah, especially in Lebanon. I'm gonna talk in Lebanon. There's no university in Lebanon right now that teaches game development. So that's something. We're all are self-learned.
Mm.
Well, for anybody out there who needs to learn game development, GameDev.tv's got your back. No, but seriously, they have great courses
Of course.
that can help you learn game development.
Yeah, that's one thing.
Probably, yeah, you learn 3D modeling, programming, game design, and making inventory systems.
You also
Use
have free
Unity or
courses. I
Unreal.
have seen that you have something for free for people who want to start learning. So that's pretty interesting.
Oh yeah, of course we got discounts. They have to come to me though, like, but I'll hand out the specific discounts and we'll see what happens. But at the end too, there's always codes and stuff with. There's discounts all the time. You know how it works. Promo codes every week. But yeah. But no, because like honestly, that's the thing that I love about this company, GameDev.tv, other communities, the tutorials online. It allows anybody to learn what used to be super expensive in school. Like you just really need discipline, and you're set. And then the thing with GameDev.tv is great about like other resources is that the community is very helpful. You can get the answer you need, and everything's explained in a way that's like, oh, okay, like I got it.
People that are experienced too.
Yeah.
We're not all beginners.
Exactly. So there it is. It's just like we need more of that for like not just this industry, but like other industries. We need more communities online that are willing to give top like quality content and just help people learn and stop holding it tons of money.
Like a pay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like it's just more education. It allows more people to like grow and learn, and allows for opportunities, and just that will create a better world. I feel for everyone, but I don't feel like they have to struggle to survive all the time.
Or struggle to learn because they can't afford it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Very true.
And then I also wanted to get into what it's like being a female in the industry, and what do you face like day to day.
I'm going to talk about my personal experience, of course. It was challenging as a female. I've always been in the team. They are all male and they're male dominant. And at some point, I realized that, for example, I was paid differently too, in equal pay at some point. So it really made me question, is it because my gender will make it difficult for me to continue this career path, or is it not? And I realize it's not if I have a character, if I can push myself, like, no, I want to work on this project like you guys. I have to push, I have to be social. I don't have to be always defensive. So yeah, I did feel at some point I'm being treated a bit differently, or not too seriously, or not being handled big projects, for example, at some point. But I cannot say that it's pure sexism, because I also have a character. Like, for example, when I was at Groovy Antoids, they really helped me to step up and talk. They really even helped me to go do mentorship with them. They did events in LebGameDev where they talk about game development, like source control. They helped me. Why don't you talk? Come with us, stand and talk. So this is one thing that builded my character, part of my character, that I have a voice too. That helped me a lot.
That is so important, I think, in any industry for, women to be nurtured, because we know we're talented and we know that we're good at our job. It's the problem is the other people, and like ingrained. It is. And the ingrained.
At some point.
So it's great that they really nurtured you. That's really important. Every industry should be doing that. Every company should be doing that. So important.
Yes.
Now, do you still face that today, or has it improved? What's the situation now?
I feel like it's better. Again, I have this character now. I have a personality. Like no one can. I cannot feel like I'm being treated injustice or something. I have a personality.
Hmm.
I only care to gain experience and do my job and learn.
Hmm.
Either that, it's not my place.
Mm. Okay. I
Hmm.
like that. It's like there was an obstacle in front of you, and you made that the way. You were like, well, if this is what I need to do, then I'm just gonna become the best me I can be and be outgoing and show people what I can do. And
Yeah,
yeah, I like that.
it's more logical. I don't want to fight always. I think like if you present them my project, they'll know that okay, they'll be more interested. That's what I do when I'm a freelancer. I did these kind of projects if you're
Hmm.
interested.
Okay. Now, you have a blog. Do you also post about stuff like
I'm
this on there,
I'm
or is it
working on
just
my blog. Yes,
uh
I'm working on my blog. It's not official. So I post it on LinkedIn and on Twitter. Mostly on LinkedIn about games and game mechanics, especially in games that I love. So I'm gonna publish my new blog soon. It's gonna be more about the game mechanics in different games, like Final Fantasy 12, um, especially old games.
hmm
I always feel old games are like the base of everything. I don't know. Like I
base.
feel like at some point, like when I look back at Final Fantasy 12, for example, I find the mechanic is very unique.
I feel like
Or
it's like
how
older
Mhm.
games, kind of like Half-Life, with the one you just said. They got things right so well, and it feels like nowadays sometimes we're missing something and we have to go back and find it again.
And so, yeah, it gives us inspiration too. Like I would love to make a game like Sheep Raider or talk more about Sheep Raider mechanics and the story of it. Sheepdog and Wolf, if you remember the game from Looney Tunes.
Ooh, I don't. Do you know Zoe?
No.
Amazing game.
You're like,
I
nah.
love this
Tell us
game.
about
It's
it.
on PlayStation 1.
Oh, okay.
That's old. That's for me. I didn't even have a PlayStation 1.
Ooh,
Oh,
they were great.
really?
No, I had the Sega and then I had a PS2. See,
Oh, okay. That's a
yeah,
big jump.
I missed the PS1 days. I don't know why, but
Shame. There was some good stuff. There was some good stuff on the PS1.
it's true.
A lot.
Lots of good stuff.
For the Unity technologies, which one of them did impress you the most?
You mean the person or what they do or
Let's do with what they do. Why does that impress you? Or like, what do you love
yeah,
about it?
I love about Unity technologies if I love what I love about them is how they work on improving the engine and on improving especially the community. Like for example, they did the open projects to help beginners and even seniors to contribute in a project they're doing. So this is a good initiative. They made the Unity Learn Premium for free for anyone who can't afford because it's quarantine and we're all at home. So this is very good for the beginner who wants to learn. They even improved a lot in the engine. Like in 2019, they worked a lot on the render pipeline, and even in 2020, they worked on making 2D physics better. So I feel confident on using Unity engine. And I
Nice.
love the community a lot. I always watch the Unity creators YouTube when their tutorials, especially about the visual scripting. For example, like Unreal has Blueprint, and Unity
Mhm.
also made the visual scripting,
Oh, they did. What was it called again?
Vault scripting. Wait,
False.
so you can
That
use like blueprints.
that's crazy. Yeah, because that was like the thing that Unreal had all the time, and now it's like Unity's got it. Now people
They
can make
both are
games
great.
easier. Yeah,
They
I
both are
haven't
great.
used it though, but I want to try it. See if it's like kind of like. Is it like Blueprints? Or is it a little bit different?
It's like Blueprint. I didn't try it yet, but I
Mhm.
only read about it.
Okay.
That's why I didn't talk about it more on LinkedIn.
Hmm. Well, let's see. What was your last advice or inspirational like message would you say to people who are starting out in a situation kind of like yours where it's not as easy or there's opportunities aren't as abundant?
I would just tell them to do their best and take their time. It's okay if they took a lot of time on doing their own first game. It's okay as long as they're learning something new in their path. There are a lot of free resources if they can't afford. There are a lot of resources and also a lot of good courses. And I always encourage them to do what they love.
Beautiful. And so now we're going to do a challenge for the GameDev.tv students.
At the end of each podcast episode, the guest come up with a challenge or a task for the listeners to do. So I might say, I challenge the listeners to, so I work in sound design. I challenge the listeners to like pick a video game and remake the sounds for it. Is a challenge that they have to complete this week. So you could do something like that, but say something in coding or game development. Do you understand what I mean?
Yes, now I understand what you mean.
Good job. You killed it, Zoe.
Thanks.
I started more.
So
I challenge the student to pick anything they find it challenging for them to do or not confident for them to do, and at least try to do it. And we're here to help them, of course. Like just try to do it.
I love it.
do a game jam.
I challenge them to challenge them. I challenge them to challenge themselves.
Nice.
See, now they have no excuse. They were like, oh, I don't want to challenge myself. But now that you're telling them to do it, they got to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah, as long as it's not stressful. I mean, we should think of it as fun.
There you go. I like that too. Challenge yourself. So while doing the challenge, if you get stressed out, just remember you're doing this for fun.
Exactly.
There you go. So it's like two challenges in one.
You know, the main reason I used to hate game jam because to me it was stressful. Like I never thought I can do something in 2 days, a gameplay in 2 days. I never thought about that. But right now, because I have participated in more than one, I am aware of, and I'm a bit more I'm more experienced to do it. So I feel more comfortable because I tried it.
Yeah, you went out of your comfort zone and you experienced new things and you did it and now you're like, I can do it again.
Zone.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So now, so this is it. This was a fun podcast.
Right.
It was great talking
My
to
first
you.
podcast, by the way.
Hey, congratulations on your first podcast.
Yeah.
I think
Thank you.
your message is going to resonate with so many people, and then your story about the Beirut explosion, and then dealing with sexism,
so.
and your beginnings. It's gonna be a great one. It's a great episode. A lot to take in, a lot to digest, and I love the inspiration you had about like self-learning, do things you love, new people, new mindsets, just all that stuff. I loved it, and thank you for coming on.
Thank you also for reaching out. I'm very grateful and thankful, and I have fun talking with you guys. Though it's my first and I'm so shy, but
Okay.
I really feel comfortable. You guys are great, and thanks a lot.
Of course. And then Joey, if you want to do the whole like end spiel and like handing the mic to her.
Yes. So thank you for speaking to us. Do you have any projects coming up or anything that you want to tell people about? This is the time to do it. So Layal, whenever you're ready, tell us what you got going on.
Currently, what I got working on is not pretty close to be launched, but I could say I'm working on my new games that I love.
Okay. Do you have anything like existing that you want people to look at, like your blog posts or like the games?
Not really.
No? Okay.
Not really. I mean, I would love to by then, but this was a past podcast. Like you talked to me from like 2 weeks ago.
Okay,
Yes.
got it.
And of course, I want to tell you something that I came up from an explosion. It's been 2 months, so I stopped working on everything. Like right now, I'm working normally.
Yeah.
I can't tell you I have something ready. No.
That's all good. Do you want them to follow you on like Twitter's, LinkedIn?
Yeah, that would be great if they follow me on Twitter. That would be awesome. Thanks a lot. I'm happy that now I know more about GameDev.tv. And of course, I'm going to talk to the community about GameDev.tv.
Well, that's it. Thanks for listening. You can find all GameDev.tv courses at courses.GameDev.tv/courses or in the show notes with a 10% discount. Get started with your game development journey today.